Now, the appeal court ruling that nullified National Assembly elections in Plateau State and declared fresh polls, that's in northern Nigeria, continues to raise dust across the social and economic divisions of the state. Awwal Haruna is a lawyer and former House of Representatives candidate on the platform of People's Democratic Party. He joins us now to share his thoughts. It's good to have you with us, Mr. Haruna. All right, so what are your thoughts here? It seems we have a scenario where it's Court of Appeal versus the Supreme Court. Your thoughts?
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me. Let me make a little correction. I was a candidate that contested for House of Assembly, just not North constituency, not House of Representatives.
All right, noted.
As,
thank you.
Said.
Thank
you. Now, my thoughts as regards the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeal. You see, we have found ourselves where there is need to build confidence in the minds of the electorate in this country. The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, is clear. Section 287 has clearly stated that where once the highest court of the land, which is the Supreme Court, gives a judgment pertaining to a particular issue, every other court below that Supreme Court must adhere to that judgment. Now, during the 2023 general election, there were issues that were raised as a result of pre-election matters by APC, by PDP, by APM, and all other political parties. The Supreme Court was precise and stated that every issue that had to do with pre-election matter is not meant for the election petition tribunal. So the proper place for a pre-election matter is the Federal High Court, and there is time for that. Once that time elapses, there's no way anybody can go back to it. Now, we are surprised that issues that had to do with pre-election matters were brought into election petition tribunal, in fact, to the extent of carrying them to Court of Appeal. So we believe in the judiciary. We believe the judiciary will do the needful. We believe that the Supreme Court will do the needful in the case of Plateau State, particularly our dear governor, who has been up and doing, who has received everybody, the governor that does not discriminate in terms of religion, a governor that is there to unify everybody on the plateau and to bring development and economic prosperity to the people of the state. The people of the Plateau State have suffered in the last 8 years during the last administration. I challenge anybody who lives in Jos in the last 8 years to come and compare between what happened in the last 8 years and what is happening in the last 7 months since the coming of His Excellency Barrister Caleb Mutfwang, the Executive Governor of Plateau State. The roads that were left untouched in a terrible condition are now being put into proper use. The governor is up and doing. Now, the issue of Supreme Court versus Appeal Court, I don't want to go into that because we are already in appeal at the Supreme Court, and I don't want to preempt what is going to happen. But my belief is that the Supreme Court will do justice. The Supreme Court will restore confidence in the minds of people. You don't win election after losing 5 out of 6 local government that you intend to represent. You lost 5. Somebody got 148,000 votes against 91, and then you claim you are on ground, despite the fact that as at the time you contested that election, you were a sitting governor. You lost your constituency, even to your principal. You lost your senatorial zone, even to your principal. You lost your own seat, and then you want to take something. Sometimes when things like this happen, I think when somebody loses an election to that magnitude, the ideal thing is for him to go back and reflect. Why are my people rejecting me? Why did they give me their mandates before? Why are they now saying no, they don't want me? Not for one to say he wants to get to the office at all costs. Even if you get to that office, how will you look at your colleagues whom their own people had given them their mandates from the beginning to the end?
All
you
right.
see, there are so many things to that.
Haruna,
when you look
if
at
I may interject.
Thank you, yes.
Right, thank you so much. Of course, it is clear that according to the votes, there's a clear winner and there's a clear runner-up in this case. However, let's go back to issues concerning the Supreme Court. In the ruling, Justice Alfreda Dauda Williams referred to the prior ruling from the Supreme Court, which insisted that the PDP needs to ensure to conduct primaries in all LGAs. And in this ruling of the Court of Appeal, he said, to avoid anarchy, I agree with the appellants that the court must protect an order of another court. Why did the PDP not conduct elections in all LGAs as was directed by the Supreme Court ruling?
You see, the issue of PDP not conducting elections in all the local governments, that is not the issue. The issue is that the court gave an order, go and conduct an election, go and conduct another Congress. The party went and conducted that election in compliance with what the order of the court was as at then. The party conducted election conducted fresh Congress on the 25th of September 2021. So, as at the time of conducting that election, INEC were there, police provided security, and then reports were made by INEC and the police. And at the same time, those that contested at that time, along with the winners, congratulated the winners. So there wasn't anything like the party not conducting election. Of course, yes, whatever the order of the court that was we were asked to do, the party went ahead and did exactly what the court order says.
All right, Mr. Haruna. Now, the Governor Mufwang says the appeal court judgment is a temporary setback. He seems confident in getting some sort of reprieve at the Supreme Court. What are your thoughts on that?
Exactly. You see, sometimes when you are on the right path, certain things cross your way. Plateau is on the verge of moving to progress. Plateau is on the verge of becoming a united family once again. Plateau is green already. The time is now, as we always say. His Excellency said, we all believe, every good thinking person, every person that wants Plateau to move forward is very much assured that this temporary setback, by the grace of God, the Supreme Court is going to rectify that issue. The Supreme Court had, in the past, given specific judgments pertaining to what constitutes a pre-election matter. And that thing that has been done, every other court below the Supreme Court is supposed to adhere to the judgment of the Supreme Court, being the highest court of the land. So as far as we are concerned, Plateau is going to get better. Plateau is going to progress. People of Plateau will be more united. His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Plateau State, Barrister Caleb Mutfwang, by the special grace of God, the Supreme Court will look at it and it will restore back his mandate freely and willingly given to him by the good people of Plateau State. By the grace of God, very soon, Plateau will be the envy of every other state in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, under the careful watchful of His Excellency Barrister Caleb Mutfwang. I am a Muslim. I represent people.
Right. Mr. Haruna, of course, speaking of Plateau State being a united state and, you know, optimism moving what's the current state of the PDP within Plateau State? Because, of course, in light of this ruling and what it has uncovered, it seems more than likely that the PDP doesn't really have a formal structure in the party. Does the PDP in Plateau State have a structure? What does it look like right now?
You see, when we talk of structure of a party, PDP is one throughout the federation. The structure of PDP at the national level supersedes every other structure. As we speak, the structure at the national level is the lifewire of every other branch of PDP within the country. As we speak about Plateau, we have structure, a valid structure, where Congress were held, INEC witnessed, INEC gave reports to the extent that the party had complied by conducting free, fair election to elect its leaders based on the provisions of the constitution of the PDP. So as far as we are concerned, there's no issue on the plateau as regards the leadership, the structure of the PDP. And to that extent, I want to assure you that there's peace within the party, there's harmony. Things come, sometimes you get little setbacks, but we are not bothered. By the grace of God, the Supreme Court will come and rectify everything that has been done, which we feel it wasn't properly done, based on the facts that were laid before the Appeal Court Tribunal.
All right, Awwal Haruna, lawyer, and of course, I'd like to thank you for your thoughts on the situation in Jos Plateau. It's good to have you with us.